Another Sunday, another case of the Scaries to start work week. Welcome to the newest edition of the Sunday Scaries. We have all your gore, lore, and more, covering all the latest horror happenings, slicing open all the latest horror news, and dissecting it bit by bit, finding all those juicy innards. Pour yourself a nightcap and turn your fright light while we take you on a tour of terror. Oh,
What
look,
up,
the
guys?
gang is here. Past all the holidays. Well, we're coming up at the end of the year now, so
We've been busy bees.
exciting.
We've been working. I know the channel's been a little light. I know with the holiday it's kind of tough. I mean, I think we did pretty good. We got the two-part special out, which was fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. But like I just feel like I've been in the trenches. Like if I'm not doing holiday stuff, it's just we've been working on our last two lists of the year. So they're big for you guys. So they'll be out next week. It'll be a lot of fun. So it's been busy.
Always a lot of ground to cover toward the end of the year. So, yeah, this week will be one big list, one decent size, smaller list, I guess. But I don't think we have any reviews or anything. So we're tying up we're putting a bow on the end of 2025, jumping into 2026.
Yeah, we'll see where we land. We might do, depending on how light things are. Maybe we'll stick something brief or maybe another live stream. I don't know. We'll see what we get. We'll see. Because I really don't have much going on for the new year. I was busy for Christmas. And I see everybody in chat here is already kind of
straight plastered all week.
talking. Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I'm drunk right now.
He's like, I'm not gonna make any videos. I'm not doing shit.
Bro needs
Yeah,
a
but
break.
I'm just I'm pretty much just like I don't have a whole lot going on, so I think I'm really just going to focus on the channel, just try to get stuff ready to go for next year, because I think I want to really hit the ground running in a lot of big ways. So that's really where my head's been at. It's just been kind of taking things easy behind the scenes, but other than that, I'm just focused on this. I hate to be a downer.
Every new year, man, I'm always focused on the next year too. I want to do something different in the upcoming year, so I'm right there with you, my man.
Yep. I definitely am looking forward to what's coming up. I know we have a lot of like bigger movies coming out this year, because I'm pretty sure we have if it's still on track, Terrifier 4, correct?
I believe so. Yeah, unless we hear
that
anything
one's
different.
in October.
But yeah, I think that's as far as I know, that's still greenlit. We're working our way toward that, but who knows? They'll throw a wrench in it and be like, 2027.
Who knows? We'll have to see. But we also have like Evil Dead Burn and a couple other things coming out. We got some heavy hitters, so I'm looking forward to
January. We were talking about January,
yeah.
and I think we were thinking nothing was coming out, but then we have what do we have? We have Primate coming out. And
yeah, we got Killer Monkeys, and then like I think halfway through the month,
not Congo.
It's not Congo, but we have halfway through the month, fucking the Killer Whale movie. I think it's just called Killer Whale or something like that. I got a trailer for it last week. I'm gonna ask for a screener. I'm excited.
We have the official release of Mother of Flies as well, so everyone
that's
gets
true.
To check that one
that's
out.
A great movie.
Exciting.
That's a good one. Yeah, lots of good stuff. So who knows? 2026 could be really, really stacked. So we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Dogma silhouette.
Going through. Yes, I know. I that was what I was going to get to next. Was that Silhouetted mentioned the Dogma 4K is out of print. Who just put out a 4K? I thought didn't that just get re-released?
Yeah, I thought so. That's what I was just about to ask as well. That's already out of print? Is that right?
No way. I mean, right. We'll have to see. Oh, Gracie says she just got her tickets for Iron Lung. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that comes out.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that one.
We should definitely see if we could get all three of us to get around to it. If it's playing in Adrian's area, like we should all go try to seek that one out.
Yeah, I'm excited. Maybe I don't know. Do you think we could reach out and get a screener for that one? See, maybe, I don't know. We'll agree to fight Markiplier.
I've reached out. I can follow back up because the holidays are tough. So like I'll just have to wait and see. Like maybe
everything's always in limbo right now because people like leave for 2 weeks straight and they're out of the office.
This is honestly the scariest time of year as a content creator who does movie stuff, because like there's a couple people who like send you emails and like will try to reach out for things, but like any sponsor stuff, any any offers for like screenings, any responses for screeners or interviews or anything, it all basically just goes dead silent for 2 weeks, and it's like the most stressful time. I always feel like, oh God, what did we do? We completely screwed everything up. Nobody wants to work with us anymore. I'm
They
like,
hate us. We're pariahs. Silhouetted, is that Umbrella release Dogma? Is that right?
yeah, that's unfortunate. I literally thought I saw that at Walmart. I was like, I had considered if I had a little extra scratch to pick that one up because I like that
Or
movie. I'm actually a big Kevin Smith defender. Not gonna lie,
I love Kevin Smith.
I think he's a really nice guy. I like him a lot. You know, I don't think he's got. I don't think he's made anything like incredible since Tusk, but I think like I still support. The last one that I saw of his that was recent was The Last Jay and Silent Bob
Yeah.
reboot, I think it was.
Yep.
I bought that on Blu-ray, and we all watched that in my cousin's basement when that came out. That's a good time. I remember that.
Those are always
that,
fun
Adrian.
films.
I don't remember that.
Okay, so you might not have
I
been.
might not have been there.
Absolutely agree, Luke. They're always fun movies. They're good, like just kind of, slipping away, just kind of
Jay
letting it
and
happen.
Silent
Kind of
Bob, well,
funny.
they were in Scream 3, is that right?
That's
This one?
yeah,
Amy?
of course. That's the one where they go to Hollywood. So
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
they
Ooh.
need to come back. I hope they're coming back in Scream 7. They got everybody else.
Those are the two Ghostface. We figured it out. We just solved the case.
No, there's going to be 3 Ghostface because it's going to be them and the chimpanzee from
Done.
Strikes Back.
If you bring Will Ferrell into that as well, we got to bring him into the mix.
He comes back instead of Dewey because they killed him.
Yeah,
It's
his
him.
cousin.
He's the sheriff. He's the state trooper. I love it. Or is he a wildlife officer? What is he?
I can't remember. I haven't seen. I need to go watch Strike Back now that we're talking about it.
Oh my
I
god!
have Dogma, the original Blu-ray release. I got that when we worked at Buybacks.
Hell yeah!
I was gonna pick up the 4K, but I guess I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to see if I can scrounge around, pick that up. I bet you it'll turn up at the exchange or something nearby.
Yeah,
pretty soon because people tend to like order a lot of stuff. I think to flip it, and then when they can't, it ends up there because like they still get a lot of decent stuff. And some of the stuff I know is because like it's not like before where Best Buy and Target and everybody had stuff on shelves. It's pretty much just Walmart.
yeah.
So it's like I see stuff popping up there every once in a while. I'm kind of surprised by. All my friends love Markiplier, but are too scared to watch horror, so they're waiting for me to tell them how gross Iron Lung is. I'm excited for it. I just think like overall it's going to be a kick-ass movie, and I hope that it's like because I'm not that like precious about the game. Adrian and I were talking about this over the phone, like just the lore and everything of it, but like it was one of those things where I'm still like open to whatever this interpretation is going to be. I just hope that it like delivers on that claustrophobic, like thalassophobic terror that I want. Like I genuinely want this movie to terrify me.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I think it's gonna be fun regardless, just because like my wife watches streamers. Markiplier is one of them, and it was funny because months ago, I think he had like not uploaded anything in a very long time, and my wife was kind of gone, "Oh, what the hell's going on?" You know, he usually uploads habitually. It's like his thing. And then it came out he was doing Iron Lung. It's like, oh, that makes total sense. But we talked about it when we covered it on the Sunday Scaries. I'm really hoping a lot of these content creators that do streaming that have found their way into a bundle of cash that can actually take these properties and maybe create actual films out of them, because a lot of them do have aspirations. They're like us of actually creating content, actual film. So if they actually start taking some of the cash they have and applying it to these indie games, I think that would just be a great little almost studio thing, like how we see with public domain horror.
Gosh.
Like if we start seeing that.
Yeah, I would love a movie about Lethal Company. I've talked about that game a couple
It'll
times.
probably happen. It's a popular enough game. We got little super chat here. Thank you.
Thank you
That's
so much.
Marina with Scary Happy New Year all. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And Happy New Year to you as well. Happy Scary Happy New Year. A lot of happies there. Pretty kick-ass time. I definitely I think even though it is one of those things where I'm like I was saying earlier, like I'm always thinking about what's next, like where my head's at gonna be for the channel or whatever. Like so it's a little bit stressful. I still think like I was just talking to my wife about this, and I think maybe you guys can relate. Because like looking at my son right now, he has a slight cold, so it's like he's just been on and off with colds all December long, it seems. But he's just like been chilling at the house all weekend. He didn't go grocery shopping with me or anything. They both stayed in, and he's just been playing with Christmas presents. And it's just like I just remember being his age or like a little bit older, and just like that pure time when you're not in school that week between Christmas and New Year's, and just like the pure bliss of just I don't have any responsibilities except I'm a child that gets to play with my new toys. Like it's just like damn, like I hope he's living that up, you know?
I know. That's what it's like. I remember getting out of school, Christmas break ahead. Then you get to Christmas, and then that time right after Christmas, all the way up to New Year's, is like you just get to play with your Christmas presents and don't have to worry about school or anything like that. So, I'm watching my daughter play with everything. I got her this giant inflatable dinosaur. The thing's like 4 feet, and I thought honestly she was just going to beat the shit out of it for one day, and that was going to be the end of it. We've had to lug this thing around to stores, to my
Really?
mother's house.
Oh my
She
lord.
won't leave the house unless it's riding shotgun. Like,
I'm
it
just
has to be in the car.
I'm just imagining Luke and his family just going through like a grocery store and there's a 4-foot dinosaur just impeding foot traffic.
Just like dragging
Can
it. It's got arms, like with boxing gloves on it, so you can just drag it by the arm. So it
I'm
totally
gonna
works.
I'm gonna dox what vehicle you guys drive sometimes, because just the idea of you guys try, because I saw the pictures on Facebook trying to get that dinosaur in your Kia Soul. Like,
I,
good lord.
it's insane because I was like, it just lays in the back seat with its head out like toward the back of
Just
the
the
car.
back.
So I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
someone was shining, you had the headlights of another car just shined into the back. I'm like, they're just staring at a green inflatable dinosaur right now.
That's awesome. I love that.
Little jump scare if you forget it's back there too.
I really liked so far one of the toys that we got him was a primal like hatch egg. They've been kind of popular. I don't know if you guys have seen them at the stores, but it's this dinosaur egg from Jurassic Park. And you literally like you open it up, you twist this key, it pulls out this tag, and then you knock on it 3 times, and then this little fucking T-Rex just like burrows its way out like that scene from the movie. And like it is just like awesome. It literally gets out, and then you have like a piece of meat, and it's got like all these sensors and stuff, and it's like its eyes change colors so you can tell if it's like my wife called it a for real friend. I think if you guys remember those from when we were kids, they were kind of big, but like you just basically take care of it. But it was like ridiculous. Getting this thing out of this egg was awesome. Like I was blown away. I was like, damn, that's super cool.
Oh, you just
Kinda
play with
reminds-
it? Like, you don't have to like take care of it though, right?
No, not like necessarily. It's still a toy, but you get like a clicker, like the thing that they have in the movies with the raptors,
Yeah.
and it responds to it. So like you click once and it'll like wake up, and then like you'll be able to like kind of like wave your hand. It has like sensors and stuff, and it gets mad all the time. It hates me. I
I
can't
had
talk to the damn thing.
I had got a Furby, back in the day, and those things would wake up, and you'd have to, take care of it. And I remember I was like excited about the thing for like a day, and then I had a straight panic attack, hoping the thing would not wake up because I didn't want the responsibility of taking.
You're like, I can't do this. It's like having sea monkeys. You're just like, this is too much. What's up, Davey? Welcome. 2025 hidden gems, huh? Gosh, probably gonna have to go with, I think, Dangerous Animals, hell yeah, and Silent Night, Deadly Night. I'll have good longevity when we look back. I think so too. Those are two really good ones. I think Silent Night, Deadly Night, I think we said this in our review, is definitely gonna fall into the more recent movies that I'm gonna check out every probably Christmas, as long with just like the other ones with the remake before it, and then Thanksgiving. It's just gonna be one of those slashers that I look forward to watching every year.
Yeah, and I think it's an exciting year. I think in 2025 in general, when we got Toxie and then Silent Night, Deadly Night, just because Dylan and I've talked about it on the channel several times, where it's like those smaller properties, like a Critters. I guess you would maybe say B horror things that we don't see regularly, going to streaming or finding a life. Having films released directly on Shudder or Screenbox, wherever. And I think you're seeing these things like Toxie and Silent Night, Deadly Night thrive at the box office and understand there's an appetite there. So I'm curious to see if when we look back 5 years from now and we're in, 2030, thinking of how many different properties have come out, maybe we have a couple Critters films or something, be like, okay, this was kind of a turning point because we had so many quality films that I don't think anyone was really expecting longevity. I mean, look at Toxie and how long that had taken to come out, and then Silent Night, Deadly Night was a pretty big win for everybody.
Hell yeah. Um, I've just skipped over this. Sorry, Silhouetted. So I want to jump back to it real quick before we continue on with that. Trying to get into those. What is this? Disteco anime Blu-rays. Discotheque. Yeah, I guess I can't read. Blu-ray. Very annoyed though. They are going out of print after a year and sometimes less. Wow. Like the Berserk 90s anime Blu-rays just did. Damn, yeah, that's like working in used media, like anime, Blu-rays, stuff like that. Like it is kind of absurd, like the certain niche ones, especially if it's popular. You'd be surprised if it's not something that's like mass produced. There's a lot of stuff, especially imports that are like region B and stuff like that, that still go for some money over here just because like hardcore collectors will have a Blu-ray player that can watch them because it's the only way you can get them with like certain dubs or even subs and stuff. It's or even some people who are hardcore and just want it without anything. Adrian, you would probably know more about that.
Yeah, I was looking up at discotheque animes, and I don't even think I've seen a single one. So I mean, yeah, I'm out of the boat on that one.
Hell yeah, but that one is something I'm also a noob to. I really just like as of recently, it's like I kind of try to just stick to my boutique brands and stuff like that. As far as like venturing out, I just don't have the capital anymore. Like I think Luke can relate to this a little bit. You kind of got gutted when you leave that job and you no longer have the access to the discounts and stuff like that to save so much money on collecting used media and stuff that it's like it almost just hurts to really like spend it on like 35 bucks because like there's a lot of steel books. I like to upgrade stuff, but like there's also been some ones recently, I gotta say, like the Howling steel book.
Yeah.
I don't really like that. I'm not gonna lie. I
I
don't
didn't
think
even
it
know it
looks very
existed, and
good.
then I was just like searching for it. I was like, when did that come out?
The Hush one's really nice. I
I
like
don't think I
that.
saw that one.
That one's good. They have a really nice Shout Factory, most of these. They have a really nice oh god, what is it? Black Christmas one
Oh,
that just
okay.
came out.
Are,
But like
is Scream Factory doing? Are they actually mass producing stuff, or is it always made to order now? I knew they because they shut down their website, right? And they're on like Groove or something like that. Is that correct, or something like that?
I'm still a little confused on how that's all operating. I was gonna basically just kind of cross my fingers and hope we'd still get some of these cool releases. And so far, I know these are the ones like that I knew were coming out. I don't know if they're gonna continue, but I really did like the relationship that Walmart and like Scream Factory was doing, especially with those exclusive steelbooks. Because like they were the thing that I liked about them was like they were still expensive. They were still 35 bucks, but it's like they're mass like produced. So I have an opportunity to just walk into a Walmart and buy one. And at least for a couple months. And it's like I like that. It's like I don't have to fight for it. It's like I can actually collect in peace, you know?
Well, yeah. So are they going to be, or you don't know? Is
I
that
don't
the
know.
big question if they're still going to be at Walmart?
I hope so. I don't know. If
Oh.
anybody in the chat knows, please fill us in. Silhouetted might know. But he's also talking about something. I wonder if you saw the same page on Facebook that I did, Silhouetted, because somebody apparently came across this DVD set at a Goodwill.
I
And
saw that
yes,
same
yeah, you
post.
saw that too.
Yep. I was just
We're
about
all
to say.
we're all in the same bubble, man.
We're in a
Damn it.
cult. The
We're in
Cornerstone
a
cult.
cult. I don't know what page it was, but yeah, dude. Yeah, he said yep. He's like, yep, I did. Oh god. Yeah, but
Small
no,
world,
I
dude.
was jealous as hell because yeah, I do want to own those. I really want them to get redone. They are not great movies, but damn, Carnosaur 2 is a masterpiece of B cinema. It needs to be seen by the masses, dude. I love it. Absolutely. Small world. It's fucking hilarious. Look at that. Oh my god. And then Gracie with my sister made a tapestry that says, "Remember, you are one" from the substance, which she apparently stayed up till 3 a.m. on Christmas morning finishing. Damn.
Oh,
And
that's
gave to give.
fantastic, though.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. Like, especially because like that's one of a kind too. So it's like
Yep.
you're gonna have it. And I really like that. My wife's gotten me more into that over the years of just like trying to find more like handmade or like sentimental gifts. It's been a lot better since like my son's been born too, because like especially for grandparents and things, like even if you get him something else, like it's nice to give him like a card or something that he gets to like draw and sign and stuff. It's like It's good. It's
I
nice.
like to vomit in a jar.
That's
And
good.
give those.
Mhm.
So it's like there's my Christmas Eve dinner, 2025.
I
Recycling.
love it. I haven't seen Dangerous Animals, but I haven't seen most of what y'all talked about. Damn. Yeah, it's a good one. It's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, definitely worth watching that one. It's a fun mashup of not. It's more than just a shark film, actually. So
Definitely. It's like slasher, not even slasher. It's like psychological serial killer mixed with shark movie stuff. It's crazy. Sean Byrne, I love him so much. He can do no wrong. Yes, that's you're in good company here. I also can't type or spell, so I'm in a lot of hurt. What's up? What's up? Oh, Merry Christmas from Ireland. Well, Merry Christmas. Thank you for
Yay.
sticking with us.
Ireland, Merry Christmas.
What's up? What's up? What's up? And thank you, Erica. We appreciate it as always. Thank you. Thank you. And let's see. I am crocheting a sweater right now. I made like 6 blankets this year. Hell yeah, dude.
Fire.
See, like that's the stuff my wife was making like hats and stuff a few years ago. She was crocheting and everything. It's definitely, at least for a while there, it's a lot of fun because you'll just get like nice hats and nice shit that's just like accumulates and you can get it in all the different colors. Like I would go with her to pick out the yarn. I'm just like a good little house husband. I really had fun with that. It was good. So if you're watching and you want to go back to doing that, honey, I would support it.
I need to get in the crochet game. My mom does it. She crocheted me a pretty gnarly pink and gray comforter, and it's pretty great. And I always told her I want to learn how to crochet. It's just a nifty gift, to be able to have.
I want to get like
doilies.
Dude, I want to get like good as fuck it, like one of those, and then like go like real crazy and spend like a year on just like a crazy ass design for like a horror movie or something. Like just like really focus on like making a really niche blanket, because like there's like people have those setups where it's like they'll just come back to it and like they'll just work on it for a little bit and then just leave for a couple days, come back, do it some more. It's like they just do it for months and then they'll just come out the blanket in 6 months. It's like fuck.
Plus it keeps you out of trouble. Remember Devin Sawa on Idle Hands? It kept him out of trouble for a hot minute.
A little bit. What's up, Necro? What's going on? Then we got what's going on, Stephanie? I'm sorry to hear you're feeling like crap. Definitely got some stuff going around.
I know. Everyone seems like they have a stomach bug, something, sinuses. The weather here is so wonky. It's like really nice today.
Oh yeah. Then you definitely check out Dangerous Animals if you love movies with sharks. And
Guy Courtney's in his underwear as well.
Yeah. That's hilarious, dude. That scene is so great. That's one that we're gonna have to watch next time I come down, Adrian. Because
somebody was asking what are the best shark movies since Jaws. Oh no, never mind. Nobody was asking that. It was just Gannon here saying that is the best shark movie since Jaws.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely up there as far as just like just when you compare it to like just like what we usually get with a lot of shark movies. Like we've had some decent ones, like The Shallows isn't bad and stuff like that, but like for the most part they just don't get like treated very seriously. And I feel like the best thing, and we were just talking about this hint towards a video we recorded today, is they just treat the damn sharks like animals. They don't treat them like they're an evil, conniving creature, which I love. Don't get me wrong. But if you want somebody to take a shark movie as serious as Jaws, even though that is the monster shark movie, you gotta really win a modern audience, I think, over with it being a little bit more grounded.
I think it's, hard to approach a shark story. Like, I mean, Jaws is the epitome of a shark film. It's perfect, has a lot of great tension, and it really just holds up even after this long. So it's like, that's the gold standard. But Dylan and I talk about it, it's like the perfect shark film was made right out of the gate. So you can't really replicate that. And I think Dangerous Animals excels because it adds an extra element to it. And I think that's really what you have to do more for modern audiences, is maybe put a spin on it. You could do just a straight shark film, but it has to be really good. Like you have no room for error. But like taking Dangerous Animals, where you had that extra subgenre in there, and you kind of meld those two together, and you're like, oh, this is a lot of fun from the sharks' perspective and how they deal with that. The contraption Jai Courtney's using, things like that, and it just becomes really creative.
And some people will say like it's not a pure shark movie, and it's like I think it's just treating them just like, again, realistically. It's like we're not it's already kind of a give me to say that this guy's dangling people over the side of a boat and feeding them to sharks, but to say like, that these sharks are going to be as conniving and vicious as like Jaws, it's like that would be too much. You'd be pushing yourself into B-rate territory. It's like you need this to be somewhat, grounded and scary. And I think that's what also helps, is that the movie is downright exhilarating. It's a thriller. It's great. Like you really are disturbed and excited by just the whole aura of Jai Courtney's character in this, I would say. And I do want to point out, two people mentioned two other shark movies. Deep Blue Sea, I have a very deep love for. It's a movie I've watched a bazillion times growing up. It was probably my number 2 after Jaws for many, many years. But it is one of those things for me where I think, like, as time's gone on, that is the complete opposite of like what Dangerous Animals is doing, where that is just goofy. 47 meters down, it's a little better. It's got a little bit more realism. It does ground people in a situation a little bit more. So I think that one's not bad either. I like the sequel a lot more.
Yeah, I'm not a big Deep Blue Sea guy. Dylan led me astray with that film a little bit.
You know what? I hate you.
And it still stinks, Dylan. I remember getting ready to watch that one and being really excited about it.
It had Samuel Jackson and Thomas Jane in it.
Oh my gosh, I remember that
LL Cool J.
So like
what? How could I be wrong?
Dylan put this in the same quality as Jaws.
Okay, no, I did not. I said it was the second best, and I may have exaggerated slightly because what else is there, brother? At that time, what else is there? Like, what am I looking at?
I got so excited for this film. I remember the afternoon vividly. I had gotten off work, Dylan, and I was making myself a burger, and it was about to be a storm outside. And I turned on Deep Blue Sea, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in for an epic shark film. And I got burned.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna have to take it from here, man. But Sam Jackson is in the Deep Blue Sea DVD commentary. Appreciate you, Silhouetted. Don't worry, Dylan. I got you. But when it gets to the part in the film when his character gets
no, go ahead. Hey, keep going. You're good.
I thought I could do the channel.
Just checking out. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Okay. Just wants to make sure I'm doing it right. Sam stops mid-sentence and says, well, I'm dead. Bye. And leaves the commentary. That sounds hilarious, actually.
Hell yeah. I actually have listened to that commentary. It is very good. And that's the thing. Like, I do really like that movie, but it is purely nostalgia based. I mean, like, I get it. Like, that was kind of, I think, what opened my eyes to it was Luke just viscerally being like, I did not enjoy that. But I will say I recommended another movie that I would put over that at that time. And what was that, Luke?
Is it a shark film?
No, it's a crocodile movie.
Oh, Rogue?
Yes.
Rogue's fantastic.
There we go. So see, you went down and then right back up. So I wasn't down too long, but I'm sorry that I did that to you. I love Deep Blue Sea.
I should go back and watch Deep Blue Sea with an expectation that is not.
We should do a commentary for it. We should do a watch party commentary for it. It would be a lot of fun. Oh God. I love this. In a Violent Ocean. Hell yeah. Let's go. That would be the movie.
Great perspective from the shark. That's great.
What? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Dude. It would like, what's that one movie where it's like the older brother's like watching everything that goes down that leads up to his death? That really cool one.
Like
a first-person movie.
No, don't say the title of that one. That I don't know if everyone knows about that.
All right.
But we should do a shark movie like that. That's my main point.
Absolutely. I like it. I like your style.
All right. But so there's there's this movie that I was thinking of where'd it go? Hold on. There was something on here that made me I lost it. Anyway, moving on to the other thing I was going to say here. Mama Mayhem with not a shark movie, but I like Orca. I know it's an animal revenge story. It's not realistic. I was pregnant the first time I saw it. Jeez, yes. So the scene with the pregnant female whale made me want to vomit. Dude, that is horrific. To subject yourself to that scene when you're pregnant too, because like that is such a viscerally like shocking scene, especially for like a 70s creature feature. Like did you watch Orca, Luke?
I've never seen Orca.
Okay, that one we are gonna have to check that out. Adrian, I would be curious because there's a scene in there that's pretty wild. So yeah, and Mama Mayhem's right on the money with it, but it is a good movie. It is actually
That's the
surprisingly pretty
one
good.
with the orca where the young boy's trying to release it into the wild, right?
That is Free Willy, so that's a different movie.
No, wait a minute. That had to have been a bit.
Never.
I was hoping that it was not. Mandy would be a great one to do a watch party for. Hell yeah. I love that. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's Mandy. There we go. I'm like, all right. Mandy would be a good one to watch too. I do love Mandy. I do love that movie. Let's see. Oh yeah, The Pool, the last decent Gator flick I enjoyed. That one frustrated the hell out of me. I hated the ending of that movie. I wanted that to be so much better than it was because I thought it was a really cool idea. Like, I think the last like true good Gator movie for me was probably Crawl. Were those gators or crocodiles? I'm pretty sure those were gators. But like, yeah, Crawl was one of those things where I'm like, I love that movie. I thought that was a lot of fun.
The Pool. I've never heard of this.
It's all right from what I remember. Again, I think I might have been a little too harsh on it because like I feel like the ending they get a little over the top with it. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I it's been a while since I've seen it. So
this is a Thai film, is that correct?
Yes, yeah, it was on Shudder. It was like a Shudder exclusive. This was like in 2022, I think or like
2018 is when it was released, it looked like.
Yeah, so I think like Shudder put it on there in 2020 and that's when I watched it because I remember that was the same around the same time that I watched Summer of 84 because it was on there.
Yeah.
Or I borrowed that one from you around that time. I just know I had Shudder and I was borrowing stuff from you during that time. So
it was all blur.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. Oh yes, in the future certainly because I definitely want to start taking advantage of those. I think that worked out pretty good. So, let's see. I think now would be as good a time as any. Why don't we get into some of the topics? You fellas want to start with Stranger Things? You guys just want to get this one going?
Let's do it.
I know we're all on topic for this one. Adrian, did you watch the Hokum trailer by chance?
The Hokum?
Yeah, it's just called Hokum. It's the other topic in the title there.
Oh. I'll get it done at some point here.
No worries,
during the pod. But
hell yeah.
I did binge watch all 3 new episodes of Stranger Things, and man, so much content has been jam-packed in these 3 episodes. A lot of character kind of like, I was about to say development, but resolution, let's call it. And then yeah, a lot happened. I don't even know what to say, but I see everybody crapping on it online. I gotta disagree, man. It's definitely not that bad. They're talking about some bad writing or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I could rewatch all 4 seasons and give it another shot. You know what I mean? But I really don't think the writing is bad. I think that they're just doing what they got to do to wrap things up. And, people care about these characters. All these characters have fans and stuff. And so I feel like they're kind of trying to give them enough screen time. And, people are like, oh, they're doing all these planning scenes and like the plans keep failing and they do more planning scenes after that. And I'm just like, I don't know. I like the planning scenes.
I do too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just really makes me feel like things are moving. It gets me kind of hyped up and feeling a little bit of ambition for what they're going to do next. And there were some really crazy shots. One character was released from the clutches of the main antagonist and was falling through the sky. That was a crazy scene for me. And then in the next episode where they're like acting like they might not have made it, I was like, ooh, for you telling me they went splat like on the ground like that, that'd be dark. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of little moments here and there that I will say the one thing that I am worried about is if they are going to lean on some more of this stuff and like they have 1 episode left. I think that there are some fake outs they've already done. There's some things they've already insinuated. We had the thing in the first few episodes with Hopper, with, you know, what happened with that, with, I don't want to get too deep into spoilers, but it's also now, like you said, there's this other thing where they kind of fake out somebody maybe potentially have succumbing to something. If either of those characters, you know, actually die in this last episode, it's kind of going to feel a little like undercut, I feel like. But
Mhm.
I still, with all that, I do want to give Luke the floor here because he's the only other person. Like I've had this watched for a few days, admittedly, so I've just been kind of waiting to hear everybody's thoughts. So this is my also raw reaction to these gentlemen's thoughts, other than like a few minor. We talked for a couple minutes beforehand, Luke and I did, but Luke, go ahead, get into it. I want to hear your thoughts.
Sure. Yeah, I actually binged it all this morning. So just came through 5, 6, and 7. For me, I don't think any of it's bad. I don't think it warrants horribly negative reaction. I do think when we're looking at the last season here, I think maybe the expectation was that, and rightfully so, I think, you know, the expectation going in is all bets are off. We don't have to worry about a next season. I think one of my critiques throughout Stranger Things has been we have a core group, we bring a new character in so that we could kill that character by the end of the season. That way, none of the core group is ever messed with. So I think, you know, going into this season, we were all expecting all the dominoes are going to fall, you know, especially the way that they've had this come out where it's like 4 episodes, then we have to wait a month, then we're getting 3 more episodes, and then we're going to get that finale on the 31st. I think the expectation for everyone is like so many catastrophic things are going to happen, especially as we're going to leave it with I I guess for me, I expected end of episode 4, like, exclamation point, end of episode 7, exclamation point. I think, you know, for me, I could see maybe an exclamation point at the end of episode 4. For me, it was more of a period, and I think I certainly got one at, you know, the end of episode 7 as well. So I don't think I still feel like there's a bit of a safety net, you know, going on here. I don't think the writing's bad. I just think, um, and I enjoy our time with these characters, you know. So it's like none of that's the issue. I think I would have reshuffled the deck a little bit with some of the bigger beats of everything, and you know, because something happens, and I was like, well, to me, I was like, I didn't we already know this, you know? So there are things out there that I was like, okay, I guess this is. I understand the big moment as the character, but as an audience member being with these characters for 5 seasons now, I was kind of like, well, I don't know if this is like a huge, in terms of what the audience is absorbing, is this a huge moment other than something maybe we already knew? But, you know, I'm enjoying my time with it. I just think we're going to have to really jam pack a lot of stuff in for episode 8. And it's what, over 2 hours? So it's kind of like,
It's as far as IMDb has it, it's 2 hours and 8 minutes.
okay, yeah. So I mean, like, I know a lot of stuff's going to happen over that 2 hour period. It just feels like I don't want it to be rushed because we've had so much time with these characters for 5 seasons now that I don't have time to catch my breath is my big concern
Yeah.
going into the last episode.
I agree. Like with how, you know, people are saying it's slow and stuff. Like I think the problem is less that it's slow, but it's more so that it's slow during this part in the season. You know what I mean? It kind
Yeah.
of makes me feel a little bit nervous for how they're going to wrap it up. Kind of like what Gannon was saying here and Erica and all that.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think like on that end, I completely understand people's like hesitation. I don't know. I just feel like as somebody again who came into this very negatively and just kind of being like, I'm not sure if I really get with the whole like, you know, we're gonna do this, I guess, volume 1, volume 2, and then the final thing, but also just being kind of done with Stranger Things. I was kind of fine because especially I think one of my critiques that I actually liked but still had me a little concerned was how like we were breakneck from episode 1 from the jump. We've been moving like we've had like this whole ordeal with Derek and his family. We have the whole introducing the Holly character as a more predominant character, basically. Like they've done a lot, and the fact that like we're now in this point where like I think we needed some downtime, in my opinion, because we really needed to give closure to. Because I'm sitting here thinking, in my brain, watching this, man, I hate what they're doing with oh my god, the older sister's character. What's her name? Nancy and her
Jonathan?
boyfriend. Yeah, Nancy. Sorry, guys. Nancy and Jonathan, who are just like, I was like, damn, they're not gonna get like anything with this. They're gonna literally just like pop right in there, and it's gonna be like, yeah, will you marry me? And that's gonna be at the very end of the season, and it's gonna be so rushed. And the fact that they did it right in that episode, I was just like, okay, I think I see what we're doing now. We're gonna take these couple episodes to really tie it all up. We had Max. We had, obviously the ending with Will that I guess was a shock to some people, but I kind of felt like it had to be this way. I think we needed to take some time to really get there. And again, just like I said with Welcome to Derry, I'm like, hey, let's just like see what it looks like maybe when we can kind of watch the story all as it goes instead of breaking it up like we have.
I got a question about the scene that you're talking about with, Will's older brother and Nancy there. They called it an unproposal. Does that mean that they're like ending their engagement, or was that more of like a reproposal? I was confused about that.
Yeah. That's can you respond to that? I was fixing something in chat. What did you say?
Wait, what?
We just had somebody being a shithead in chat. I had to fix that real quick. What were you saying?
Oh, my bad. So, so the proposal scene between Will's older brother and Nancy, they called it an unproposal, but it kind of like really felt like an actual proposal. So I'm confused. Like, did they break up, or like, are they doubling down on their love?
No, I think that's like I think they're sticking together. I think it was just them kind of, realizing that they're all kind of like, they're both flawed. They both made some mistakes and shit. And it's like, I think they just kind of admitted those to each other and, just kind of had a chipper way of just saying whatever to it,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, because it kind of felt like a really bittersweet thing. It was tastefully done. Got to add that in.
And I definitely can say, like, reflecting on that as the conversation here is going on, I could see how some people are disappointed by that. Maybe I am too, slightly. How that it does feel like their characters have kind of taken a back seat, especially since like season 4 when they were apart. I feel like we never repaired things, and I know that's kind of supposed to be the angle, but for how important they were in like season 1, like their relationship kind of being that like older, like kind of that teenager, like early 20s, like angle into the show. So like, because if you look at season 1, you have adults, you have kids, and then you have like, the older kids. And that's like kind of that's why you can get all across like every basis for the show. That's why it was such a hit. And it's just one of those things to me where it's like, I just feel like they've been left in the dust, and I can kind of see where people might be a little bit upset with that.
Yeah. And that thing you were saying about characters taking a backseat, I definitely feel that about Will's mom. I remember kind of feeling like Will's mom was like, sort of like the main character, Winona Ryder there for the first season.
Damn, Necro says Duffer Bros said it's them breaking up, and Alice in Wonderland it means the same apparently. Maybe it is. I don't know, because I saw the unproposal as a mutual breakup. Man, Adrian, are we too sheltered? Like, I feel like it's like we've kind of been in like long-term relationships since high school, so it's one of those things where it's like I don't know, maybe we're just like we don't get it. We're just too it's over our heads, because I thought they were sticking together, but maybe they are. I don't know.
Their words, their words said like, their words were like kind of like breakup words, but they also like said like I love you, and it was so like heartfelt, and it's deep. I get it. Like, I love you. We're going to do the right thing because, like, we love each other. So, but at the same time, like, it felt kind of romantic, but maybe that's because they got a lot of chemistry because those actors are dating in real life.
Yeah, DeWay says, I think he was saying that they were bad for each other, so they shouldn't get married. And it's like, I kind of, and if I'd have to rewatch the scene, because like,
they
Luke
confessed a bunch of lies.
How did you take it, Luke?
Yeah, I think the way that I took them saying, taking back the proposal or anything, I was assuming that they're no longer together. I don't know 100% if that was supposed to be the case or not. It just felt like a bit of a breakup to me. So that's the way that I was taking it because, Jonathan immediately, I think, mentioned Steve right after that. And I was like, okay, I think that's kind of where his head was at. So I'm taking it as they walked out of that room not together anymore. But who knows what that's going to look like after the next episode where they have so many traumatic events where it's like, oh my gosh, maybe we take it all back. So I don't know if that's what the case is going to be, but right now I've read the room as that they were no longer together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm reading Mandy's comments here, and I definitely feel what you're saying. I agree, actually.
I want to come back to Erica's point here because that was something that I honestly, like, I don't think I retained until after. It was one of those things where I didn't feel it in the moment, but I do kind of get what they're saying because, like, I think I registered it where we'll just get into it real quick, where it's like that scene where she's like, "Oh, you have to go find your own body." I'm like,
yeah,
bro, we just did all of this so that you could leave, and you're just now and she's treating it like it's not a big deal. It's like, what do you mean, bro? Like, what the fuck?
What's sad is I could see that happening in real life, like an older person like takes advantage of the naivety of like a younger person to like get what they need. But hey, it was convenient that a portal back to her body opened up right after, so at least there's that.
Damn.
I thought it was pretty funny too. I chuckled when Max was like, "Wait a second." So this is where I get off. I don't know where you're going, but it ain't here. So he's like, "Deuces, I gotta go."
To be fair, it's kind of like at that time they were basically like, "We're gonna pull you out in the Upside Down," but she didn't know that they weren't in the Upside Down apparently. So sorry, I guess that might be a spoiler. I'm sorry. We're trying to stay as vague as possible, guys. I'm sorry. It's gonna slip. But
I was about to ask, like, are we allowed to speculate for the next episode, or we want to kind of just keep it clean for?
We'll keep it pretty clean. I think one of these things, like, I think just in general, whether it's Sunday Scaries or something, maybe we should do a live spoiler after the season finale, maybe the next day, if you guys would be into that, and then we could all just kind of like, just kind of get our spoiler thoughts out, everything, because I think there's going to be a lot of like stuff to say, especially because like, geez, it's one of those things where it's like I don't know if like it's gonna really come through at the end. So
yeah, I think it's hard to live up to those expectations, certainly after this long wait. I don't think any conclusion that we get is going to satisfy everybody, unfortunately.
Yep.
So I think the expectation is too high right now.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of sucks because they really came in strong. I think stronger than anybody expected. So it's almost like the fact that they did this like volume 1, volume 2 might have hurt it more than helped it.
And I think maybe that's why people are critical, especially these last 3 episodes that were dropped, because
we had to wait a month for
it. And we talked about that first episode within like 25 minutes. We were right into the situation, in the thick of things of what was going on. And then this one, I think if you would have had those 3 episodes, but also instead of waiting till the 31st, we would have had the conclusion. So we would have just dropped everything. I think people would have been received those other 3 way better because we would have got the action and the conclusion that we would have wanted. Instead, it was just kind of we wait a month, we get these 3 episodes, and now we got to wait another week before we get the actual conclusion for it. So I think everyone wanted something very big, like several big things that happened within these last 3 episodes. And, things have happened. I just don't know if they were what people had. Like when you go back and look at the season and pick out really pivotal moments, I don't know if there's enough for those 3 episodes. The thing about like Welcome to Derry was that, hey, Pennywise was, after that 5th episode, he was killing people. You know what I mean? So it was like people, and
we were losing people.
And even before that, we had some body count of him, influencing the town without actually seeing the clown. But
I mean, for God's sakes, not to spoil anything for that, but the first episode has consequences. Like,
yeah,
and it's like that. I think having these 2 shows kind of dueling there too might have also hurt it a little bit. I don't know.
And it's
I mean, and to say that I still like am walking away saying I really like where we're going so far. Like I still enjoyed these episodes. I'm not nearly as harsh as some other people online. It seems like none of us really are, but we do have to, call it as we see it. And that's pretty much all anybody here is doing in the chat too. Cause like, yeah, I guess it's kind of sucks that for the most part, like I'm also reading through like Mandy's stuff here and all the things people are posting about this whole relationship ending between Jonathan and Nancy. It's kind of like, I guess it really it should have been more clear. I guess maybe it is a little bit of a oversight. I don't know.
Maybe
I
they
really don't
wanted to
know.
leave it vague, so people are questioning what's going on going into that last episode.
Yeah, because like going off of what
There are
Mandy
two parties
and then
there.
into Necro here saying the engagement ring was on the floor in regards to the last time I saw it. It's
Yeah,
like
that's what really gave it away as a breakup, kind of. But I
I
don't know,
thought that
man.
was like a symbol of like it hits it and it's solid and it's like, hey, they actually were honest with each other and they admitted to themselves that yeah, they're trauma bonded, whatever, blah blah blah. But like at the end of the day, it's like they're all they've known or whatever, and then it worked. Like it's one of their things where it's like, hey, you guys rescued yourselves because you were honest with each other. But at the same time, I agree with everything else that everybody said here because it could totally be swinging the other way and saying, yeah, we actually aren't good for each other. We love each other. We're going to be in each other's lives, but we just shouldn't get married. It's like,
You
cool.
know, they called it an unproposal. Maybe they'll still date.
Sure.
Possibly.
Where's Demogorgon in all this? I don't know.
Yeah, what's going on here?
It's like it's fine.
Where's he at?
I do think we're in a little bit of rough waters, unfortunately. But again, welcome to Dairy Callback. A lot of people after episode 6 were getting a little about that show, and then 7 and 8 really capped off strong. So hopefully this final episode can do it. But I also agree with everybody else in the chat earlier, and Luke and Adrian here said that's just a lot of shit to tie up at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just a lot to do.
Where
I
it's
also wanted to shout out, hey, what's going on? To Paula and Nightmare File for coming on in. Thank you. And then go ahead.
where it's like, if you look at why everyone got into Stranger Things, like that first season, and then fast forward to 2025, and you're sitting there for episode 7 of season 5. Would the situation with Will, would that have been enough to be like, that's why I got into Stranger Things? You know what I mean? I get it's character development, but it's not necessarily what people came to see out of Stranger Things, where it's like you want to see the Demogorgon, you want to see some sort of body count. And it's like, that's where it's like, maybe it wasn't enough to tie people over, where it's like, comparing it to Welcome to Derry, you always had a body count in some aspect in each episode of that to be like, I like it. I want to see Pennywise. And I got something in regards to that, where it's like this one, it was a lot of character development from those 3 episodes. And I don't want to spoil anything, but it still feels like we have a safety net on. And now's the time to pull the trigger and really just go for it, because we have nothing else. We're not looking at it next season.
Yeah. And that's kind of hard, I guess. And I get it. I understand. Like it is tough to really like, I guess, face facts. So we have 2 hours and 8 minutes left to wrap everything up that we got. And we still like, they're just going to get down there to basically where they're going to find Vecna. And they're still like, the other thing that I got to admit, and I do want to get to some comments here, because they're all like Mandy brought this up. I think this actually sounds like a much better strategy. They could have dropped the 4, 1 a week to get us up to Christmas, then Merry Christmas, give us 3, and then the final on New Year's. It's like, shoot, even if they didn't do that, if they just stuck it to where it's like, the week before Christmas, we get 4 episodes like they did. Then Christmas, yeah, we get these 3. And then, like you said, New Year's, we get the final. I think maybe expectations would have not been as high with a little less wait time. I don't know. Like we're gonna have to wait and see the final really to decide where they went wrong, I guess, with this, if they go wrong, because who the hell knows? The next episode could be incredible, and then it's like we're all just blabbering on over here, like it's nothing.
I think we're all in agreement that Big Hank's got to produce. He's got to get that body count up. He's got what Matthew McConaughey would say is rookie numbers.
Yeah, he's It's yeah, I agree. Erica here with 0 kills this season of anyone. I want my heart torn out and to be in depression for days over someone dying. I know it's tough because like I think we're so conditioned, especially when it comes to like series finales, especially like I think Adrian, we were talking about it the other day. Or was it just earlier today? When were we talking about
It was
I
earlier
mentioned,
today.
oh, I don't know who I mentioned this to. I think it was you, but I said like it's kind of like even if you look like Breaking Bad, it's like people were
Yep.
dying all the way up to the end, but then at the end it was just kind of like the last episode is really just Walt's playing his greatest hits, going down, having his final wrap up conversations with everybody before the final of that show. And it's just
Yeah.
kind of like, I felt like that's what these episodes kind of were in summation of like, we really need to fix things because we haven't even mentioned Steve and Dustin kind of fixing their shit. But
Dude, man,
I actually
Dustin,
really loved their argument. That hurt. Like I could see pain. Like the actors, like the
that
two,
was a
they
phenomenal
killed it there. They
performance.
did a great job.
It
Mhm.
was a great sequence. It kind of hurts to see them fight like that, but um, I think Dustin's character has let me down a little bit in that regard. I feel like that's kind of been his like whole angle during the entire show, which I get now that I've seen that episode where they fought. You know what I mean? He was just had hella trauma from losing his homie. You know what I mean? And he doesn't want to lose anybody else. So I kind of get like what he's going through and stuff like that. But I kind of miss that bubbly, funny Dustin a little bit this season.
Yeah. Luke, your thoughts, Steve and Dustin?
Oh man, I love the texture that Dustin has gotten over the last few seasons because he really has become such a tortured character, which I never would have guessed. Looking at him, I think everyone always had their specific thing out of the bunch, and Dustin. I've always enjoyed Dustin, but to me, it's like he never was a big focal point a lot of the time. But now it's like seeing what had happened to Eddie, seeing him this season in general, just really feels tortured. And I love his relationship with Steve because it does feel like this big brother kind of scenario where, we had that kinship between the two for so many seasons. I going into season 3, I think is everyone loves the ideal relationship between those two. And then it becomes almost this big brother thing where Dustin finds kinship with Eddie. And then that's kind of like his dude for such a long time. And I feel like, Steve always plays it like he's kind of left out in the cold a little bit, even though he's out doing other things. But to kind of see them regroup here and kind of have that big um brawl in a sense, and kind of get everything out there. But then what happens and what Dustin says to Steve, in terms of consequences, and I can't do that again, and I love him putting that gravity of the situation on there because then they say something like, again, I don't want to spoil too many things, but they're reciprocating, if this happens, then this happens to me. And if this happens to you, this happens to me. And like, I love that. It just feels like it's such a brother relationship, but then it also adds the stakes of if what happens to one, what's going to happen to the other one, so it's like, I love their story arc.
I do too. I think what really hurt me the most was Dustin, and I'm sorry, I just got to get into spoilers at this point. Like when Dustin was crying in Steve's arms, like saying, "Don't leave me, don't leave."
Yeah.
Like it was like I just remember season 2. Everybody hated Steve Harrington. I did too. We all did. And then, he really just like a bull in a china shop just pushed his way through all through season 2, trying his best to be the babysitter, to be the big brother, and literally became the quintessential, I think, character for most people who watch the show. Like, I think everybody has their favorites, but like Steve has, in my opinion, to answer one of Mandy's questions later on down here about who has had the best character arc of the show, I think it's Steve. I think has the clearest, most defined character arc of he's a villain. I mean, we have to even I feel like
Dude,
I comment
good
this
point.
on like TikTok videos and stuff, but Luke pointed this out to me like 2 years ago that Steve was like, he said some racist stuff to Lucas, didn't he? In that first season?
I
Didn't
forgot.
he?
I
I
don't
thought
know.
I thought he like referred to him as like
They're the bullies did.
The bullies. Okay, maybe I'm getting them confused.
Yeah.
Maybe I got wires crossed there because I
Yeah, the
thought,
bullies did for certain. I know, and I remember going back and watching that first season years after and being like, "Whoa, they really went a little wild here." But I don't know if Steve did.
yeah, okay, yeah. Well, I know, yeah, he definitely did that, but that was like more defined. Uh, So maybe it was somebody in Steve's group, or it was one of the bullies, the kids, but like, because I know the little kids called Will like the F slur and stuff like that. So it's one of those things where it's like, I just remember if that's not the case, then still it's one of those things where that's actually better because it still makes him easier to redeem. Because yeah, I think like in the first season, he's kind of a dick, but then he really comes around by the end, but he still had to win people over. And season 2, I think, is just where that happens. And
You, I
it's
have.
so good.
I remember when the pop vinyls were a craze. I don't know if they still are now. I know they're still released, but back when season 1 had come out, they released a Steve Harrington pop vinyl, and it was like an exclusive to whatever the convention was at the time. And I remember going to Hot Topic to get me a Steve Harrington, and my buddy was with me at the time, and he goes, "No one likes Steve. He's a bad guy." And, he had just had that moment where he had the ball bat and all that stuff. That was the pop vinyl of him with the ball bat and stuff. It was before season 2 came out. I said everyone's gonna love Steve. Steve had a great moment in season 1, and then that pop vinyl, I still have it skyrocketed in value because everybody loves Steve coming into season 2, and it's like, and it stayed. He has had such a great story arc, and Joe Keery is just a fantastic actor. I'm so excited for Cold
He's
Storage to
he's
come
got
out.
a he's got a good I like his music too. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good singer.
Very talented, like, in all
Interesting.
aspects.
Yeah.
And then what was that film he had come out with a few years ago? Was it Spree or something like that?
Spree. Yeah.
I enjoyed his performance in that. I thought he was funny. He plays a great psycho, so I'm
I
excited
mean,
to see what he's going to do, and Steve is easily my favorite character.
yeah, he needs to really get on the radar of like, I mean, I want to see him work with somebody like a oh my god, Dangerous Animals, Sean Byrne. Like just get
Oh,
into
yeah.
a real meaty, mean role. Or like playing against somebody like that. He's got the chops to do it, certainly. I really like what Paul had to say here because it's a different approach to kind of how we've been seeing this. But they hated the fight. They thought that but it needed to happen. They both had to let their real feelings be known, and they reaffirmed their friendship. And I'm like, absolutely. I
That's
think
like
like it was almost like the pressure chamber was like building the whole time. They were going up and up and up, and then finally it just popped. And that's why I think it was the best scene in like the whole second volume.
And that's where it's like it feels like that brother relationship where it's like, sometimes they have a all out brawl and they kind of reset and regroup and then kind of go on about the relationship. And I think that's really what I felt. They have such strong vibes. It feels so organic, especially when you look at season 2 and them having that relationship and then going to season 3 and where they're at now in season 5
Because like
and
if I
going.
recall, it was like Dustin really had to like kind of bring everybody on board with letting Steve kind of hang around and like be
Hmm.
more of it. If I remember correctly, especially towards the end of that season, like he had to kind of almost briefly convince people to be like, no, he's fine. Like we can hang out and stuff. Cause I think they were still worried about the tension as well between Jonathan, Nancy, and him and everything. But I also think like Steve's had like really gone through, I mean, everybody's gone through some shit. I mean, Jesus Christ, Max introduced season 2 was probably the chillest season for her. Ever since then, it's been hell on wheels. My God, that poor girl. Like your season 2, your brother's a dick. That's about it. You get some cool friends. She has a Michael Myers mask for Halloween. She's the best. Season 3, brother goes Terminator crazy, and then 4, she basically becomes Vecna's puppet. It's awful. Like poor girl. Like honestly.
And I was just thinking about like all the seasons as I was watching these last 3 episodes. And I know some people are critical of season 2, and I rather enjoy, for the most part, season 2 and everything that happens in it. It's like we really do get the introduction of Max, who's just been a mainstay with the rest of the seasons and had a crucial part. And then having that really Steve come into his own with Dustin and having that relationship blossom, and then getting the ending where they're at the winter dance and Dustin is dressed up like Steve. I love that. It's like there's some really great moments in season 2. It really does lay a lot of groundwork for what we do see now.
Plus Bob. I think
Bob,
season 2, I
Bob
need to
newbie
revisit that.
superhero. Come on.
I didn't really love season 2 by the end of it. I was in agreement with everybody. I feel like I need to go back and watch it. I feel like it's the one
Yeah.
season
Bob's
I
Death?
never
Come on.
rewatched.
I
I
feel like
know
I need to
that
rewatch the
sucked.
whole
That was
show.
tough.
I vomited on the floor,
I
convulsed.
also
I'm
just
so
really
stressed.
like Sean Astin. I mean, Lord of the Rings, Rudy. It's like I love the
50
dude.
First Dates.
51st Dates. Oh my god, yes. I always forget about that. Um I do appreciate this. I did just want to highlight this comment here. Thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate
Oh,
it.
thank you. Yeah.
It means the world so much. Thank you. I love this Ganon. I think they're going a different direction with it. I think they have an actor in mind for that one.
I don't know anymore. I know at one point I heard it was gonna be gender swapped, and then that wasn't true.
Yeah.
And then so like the last big news that I had heard that it was gonna be gender swapped, and then it come out and say no, it's not going to be.
Mhm.
But I don't think there was an actor named, as far as I can tell.
I remember it was like I thought it was Austin Butler for a long time. But I do like Joe Keery could be a good
Sean Astin, maybe.
no, I think he's too old. I think
Oh, different story arc with that one.
he's just Sean Astin doing that. That'd be hilarious. Just like reciting his lines, just like he's like I always think of Sam. Season 2 is my least favorite season, but I'll always watch it. It's part of the story. Absolutely. You know, it's like you have it. And I think there's strong moments in season 2. Like
Them
again,
dressed as Ghostbusters. It was released on Halloween that year. I
that
remember
is true.
spending
Yeah, it's like
the day watching it.
we have Bob. I do like Dart. I thought that Dart was
Yeah.
cool. I think it just gets really messy because they don't really know what they want to do with 11 and Hopper.
I
'cause they
think people
left off
remember
and
that.
stuff, and yeah, and
That
then
stuff the
8
most.
8 was people didn't like that, and they just brought that back, which also I think that should probably be the last thing we mention, and then we should get into some more news.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we're just gonna go into full blown Stranger Things spoilers at this point, but like it's I don't trust her. I don't
Yeah,
trust
dude,
her.
she's sus, dude.
Mhm.
Big sus, man.
I don't like her one bit.
All
How do
I'm
you
gonna
feel, Luke?
say.
Yeah, I feel hesitant to trust 8 at the at this point, but I can't tell if they're just planting seeds for that as well to kind of make us hesitant to trust 8. So I'm curious. I am with you guys in terms of, I think there has to be some big unveiling there, especially the way that kind of dropped in where it was like, oh, 11's got to face off against Big Hank, but then it was like, oh no, well, I'll come in and help out too. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't like this dynamic. I'm not sure what we're doing here.
Yeah, plus she's like really trying to put a wedge in between her and
Yeah.
Hopper and even her and Mike and stuff, which I'm still going to say, folks, Mike is fucking dying. I'm telling you, this guy has literally been passing the fucking buck on every single confrontation he has had. He is talking up his friends. He is talking up his mom. He's talking up his own little sister. This motherfucker's dead. We're going to watch 11 and Will suffer. That's what's going to happen. I'm putting it right there.
You might be right, man. I've been trying to predict who's going to die at the end, and Hopper's another one I'm predicting. I mean, maybe that's too obvious. Maybe they'll save him. I don't know.
What if 8 is the only one that survives?
That would suck. I'd hate that. I would hate that. That I don't like. I didn't hate 8 when she was introduced. I thought that was a weird episode because it just kind of was like a oneer, but it was just like one of those things where I didn't hate necessarily the idea of another one of her people being out there. It makes sense, but it's just like, dude, like we never called back to her until right now, and I like that it works. But just to have her come in and just be like super sus, if she actually is just evil, I'm gonna kind of hate that too. I feel like the only way that it would have worked for me is if she just came in, and even if it was just like, hey, she's gonna be there for a minute and she sacrifices herself or something, and like just say it's. I just don't know how you were ever gonna make this character work, to be honest.
Maybe self-sacrifice is the redeeming quality of 8. I don't know. I think maybe that could be a thing. I don't know.
Because like she was really cool to 11. She didn't have any bad blood with her when they left. It just seems weird that like I get where she's coming from with like, oh, they're just gonna make more of us, which that was okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're really getting into the weeds. I can't go too deep, But yeah, it's nuts. Luke, any predictions on anybody dying?
Well, I'm always hesitant because I don't want to say who's still alive if you haven't watched the other episodes.
I
But
think everybody's pretty aware nobody's died yet.
okay,
I
good.
think it's
I'm still gonna go Steve. When we had talked about it, I thought Steve and Dustin were going to not make it out of there. I could easily see that, especially with the dialogue that they had. I could see that being if one goes, the other one goes as well. I could easily see not necessarily 11 dying, but I could see 11 being stuck in the other dimension. And
falling behind.
yes, and having to stay behind. So Mike goes on to live his life not being with 11, knowing 11 is out there in another dimension, but they will never be together.
Oh, I fucking
That'd
love
be
you,
interesting.
Necro. That's so funny. Dastardly Derek is the lone survivor.
There we
He's
go.
the
Derek
only-
needs a spin-off. If we're going to do
Dude.
a spin-off of a character, give me Derek.
I
Yeah,
love
Derek is
so much.
hilarious.
Like I fucking adored like when he just rolled up in the woods and it was just like, no, I know everything. Like I know all this shit. Like let's get rolling. What are we
He's
doing?
like, you weren't buying his shit either. He's like, I could
Mhm.
tell the way you weren't nodding.
Man, it's fucked up. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it sucks that he's coming in so late in the game, because like I would have loved to have seen him also just kind of like, that's one thing about the Duffers, they're really good of bringing an asshole into a series and then making you love them. Like they've done that several times.
When Henry stops him in the woods and goes, where'd you get that map? He's like, your mom.
Yeah, it's like it's just like he doesn't give a shit. I love him. But oh god. See, so Mr. Boone is asking a question. He wants to know, the only reason I'm gonna say you should probably watch them now, and you guys can chime in here what you think. I think you should watch them now just because when that last episode drops, I don't know like what your day-to-day life is, but hey, if you are on your phone at all, just anticipate you're gonna get something spoiled for you. It's gonna happen. I don't think anybody's gonna hold back once, especially if people start, getting iced. It's like it's gonna be all over. Like there are gonna be people posting shit halfway through the episode. Like it's gonna be unreal.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be impossible to stay away from because is that Wednesday it's going to drop? Is that right? Am I getting my days right?
I think is it New Year's Eve or New Year's? I gotta check again.
I thought it was the 31st, but I don't know 100%. But if you're able to stay away from them, then I'd say, at your leisure, if you want to hold off to them. But I think, it's going to get spoiled. It was so hard for me to stay away from spoilers over the last couple days to try and get these three watched. And I kind of even went in knowing that there was going to be a moment between Nancy and Jonathan, and a couple other things. I didn't know to the extent of what they were going to be covering, but it's really hard when something is this popular. It's so hard to stay away from really intense and crucial spoilers from the plot. So if you're able to do that and you just want to watch them all in one go, I say go for it, but it might be a little bit hard to do that, especially with the way I don't know, obviously our phones are listening to us, but it's like one of those things where I finished these 3 episodes today. And like I said, I was staying away from spoilers. As soon as I finished, I just got bombarded with like spoiler thing after spoiler thing after spoiler thing. I don't know if it was just a coincidence or what exactly was going on there, but I got like every little nook and cranny of each episode.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to be ending season, like it'll be ending on the 31st at 8 p.m.
Okay.
So that's going to be the only one that I think I'm going to actually try to sit down and watch the moment it drops, just because I really just want to experience it, I think, with the world, because I think that's the only other thing that's, you kind of have the opportunity. I don't mean to get cheesy and weird about this, because I know there's some people watching who, if you still are and you're here, thank God, and God bless you, because you don't care about Stranger Things this much, but it's one of those things where it is going to be a moment. So don't discount that there, if you watch it right off the rip at 8, like it might crash the server, we don't know, but like it's going to be something. There's going to be a moment when a majority of the accounts start finishing that episode. Everything's going to go off the rails. So just be prepared.
I'm going to have a pretty busy New Year's Eve because my plan is to get completely plastered up until 7 p.m. Then I'm going to go to the bar, get a bloody nose in solidarity of 11 and Will. It's at 8 p.m.
You're gonna come back and fight Vecna through the TV.
There it is. Me
Yeah,
and Big Hank will have our standoff finally. It's been culminating.
yeah. It's thanks. I'll check it out tomorrow then. Hell yeah. Well, I think like overall for me, it's just like I'm gonna try to be there night of. I know Mandy also said that you can get tickets for New Year's Eve. Are we sold out around here? Do you know?
I had seen, I don't know, I didn't look for it because I had seen an article saying it was completely sold out. This was when they first were released. It was like it all got ate up. So I never even bothered to check because I didn't think that it was going to be a thing.
That would be really dope. I forgot about that. Wow, that's a lot of showings at my theater.
Good Lord.
There's a showing every 10 minutes at my theater, dude.
Yeah, there's one in Valley View. Yeah, there's one every 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Dude,
Oh, there's
I
plenty
gotta
of
go.
there's plenty of seats too. Oh boy.
Shoo.
I don't know,
Appreciate
Luke.
you
Do
putting
we
me
do
onto
it?
that.
Do we
I think
do it?
I
is
might
that on
have
you-
to do it.
Is that New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
I'll have to take a look at my schedule.
Because
but I'd be down.
if we prepare for it, Luke, I will go because it goes up to 12:15 in the morning. If you need to like get stuff done and do it just to have it done, I'll do it. I'll make it an event. It'll be fun. We can do a little fucking out of theater reaction to it. I think it's earned that. I would like to see it on the big screen, finish it out.
Yeah. I'd love to check my schedule because I think that would be a lot of fun to go to that. I didn't even think that would be a thing. Like I said, I thought they were all sold out. So
yeah, I vaguely remember seeing somebody saying that they sold a ton out and stuff. So yeah, I think we may have to look into that. I'll see what other theaters in the area because that was just like what an auto drew for me. But Tinseltown actually has some too.
okay.
Tinseltown is a little bit more sold out, but they have some. Let's see, what's this 9:15? Pretty sold out. I don't know. We won't do our plans right now, but like it's cool. I think, hey, if you can go, definitely make it a point. Like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, just understand that as soon as it drops, you have an opportunity to be there for a very, like I would say, significant moment in pop culture. Just
Absolutely.
saying. This is like kind of like The Sopranos, Breaking Bad kind of thing. It's like it's at the ending of an era, really. So say what you will. All right. That was like 45 minutes to an hour of Stranger Things. So how we doing, everybody? What are we feeling?
We all still here? We all still alive? Or
hell yeah. Let's what else we got on the docket? I know we had Hokum up there.
Yeah, Hokum.
I'm looking forward to that. I think that looks cool. But what else did we have there, Luke? Anything? Oh, why don't we let's do the Terminator stuff? I was excited about that. Like you brought this up as if I would object to it, and I need you to know that I will never object to Terminator discussions.
I love me a good cybernetic organism. But anyway, Big Jim Cameron has been doing the press tour, I guess you'd say, for the newest Avatar film, and he was asked about Terminator and what's to come of that franchise. He said after the dust clears here with Avatar, he's going to be diving back into that franchise. When they had asked if mainstay Arnold Schwarzenegger would be back, apparently we won't be hearing him utter those words at all in the upcoming new releases of this franchise. He said he wants to focus on stories that people aren't imagining right now. So he thinks that with Dark Fate, we saw the closure with that character, and he really does want to focus on new stories within the Terminator franchise. And I know that kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger's always been the bread and butter of the franchise. It's always been like, well, is he coming back to reprise his role as the T-800? And I think that's always been the big selling point. That was certainly a big selling point of Dark Fate. So I don't know what this holds in terms of the interest of, I mean, I'm a huge Terminator fan. I'm open to the world because I think it's very lucrative in terms of the creativeness that we can really do with Skynet and where we can take those stories. And I'd very much be open to it and see what we can do because I think there is a lot we can do. But a part of me would miss Arnold Schwarzenegger as a part of the story. But what really can you do anymore with that character?
I have been black pilled on Terminator, I think, since Dark Fate. That was a weird year, I would say, for Luke and I, as far as like two fandoms that we like, two franchises we kind of like fanboy over, is like Rambo and Terminator. That year we had Dark Fate and Last Blood. I was more positive on Last Blood than you were. You were more positive on Dark Fate than I was, and that's like kind of weird and just like very not like us. But I am ready for some fresh blood. I understand people are going to miss Arnold Schwarzenegger. I will too, but like, to be honest, I think that, yeah, it's like I know Gannon's mentioning that Prey is hitting Tubi in January, not as like a reference to this, but we need a Prey approach. We need something different to this franchise. We need some fresh blood. We need a new direction, because if we keep trying to go down the John Connor realm and following the Connor family or some reference into that, or doing the same thing with different people just to continue that same story, we're destined to just keep driving this into the ground over and over again.
And I think looking at what makes the original Terminator and Terminator 2, it has that charm to it. And I enjoy Terminator 3 for what it is. I don't think it's the quality of the first two films, but I still think it's enjoyable. But I think conceptually, where the charm of those films are is, the T-800 being dropped into the past and looking like a human being, and having that relationship with John Connor, but then also trying to save the day or kill John Connor, depending on which installment you're watching, and, complete his mission in a sense. I think that's part of the charm there, but you can't keep retelling those stories, especially in a post Judgment Day setting, especially if that's the route they're going to go in. You really do have to do something different. You just can't keep retreading the same thing over and over again. I do think when we talk about Skynets and interesting scenarios, you could really open up the door, because you can play with a lot of stuff. I feel like the hesitation has been too much to really say, okay, we're just going to wash our hands of the T-800 and do something completely different. Because I don't know if people will be accepting to it, at least maybe right out of the gate. I think, that first film, especially if it's really positive, could get word of mouth. Will it struggle at the box office? Probably, just because it will have to be a pivot. But if you bring a lot of quality to it, you bring a unique story to it, I think you can have a lot of fun with it. And I think that is kind of like how Prey almost was like that reset in terms of what we got with the franchise. It did something wildly different than what we had seen. And I think you do have to have that approach with Terminator to say, it's a great story here. It's a great skeleton, a great blueprint of the lore and what we can do here. Now let's start plugging in individual stories here that don't necessarily always have to do with a T-800 coming back and trying to save the day.
Yeah, and I think like you and I, even, I'm not going to get into it because it'd be too much, but you and I pitched back and forth an idea that I had just kind of like very roughly sketched out that would be kind of like a very, you could almost take it in one of two ways, I think was the consensus we came on, where you could do it as like a radically different story that kind of takes place in the Terminator world. And I think that would probably be the most realistic way to take it. But then you could tie in John Connor. I just think that like it makes sense to have the creator of it come back. And we've seen this fail time and time again as well. I'm not going to act like this is the right stuff. You know what I mean? But like, I think that James Cameron, if he has any interest in coming back to this, especially like having the technology that he has after developing these two Avatar films, I'd like to see what he has in mind. I'd like to see what his brain thinks of AI and where things are going, and just how this, Terminator's like kind of concept, how it can evolve. Because if there's anybody who I think might have a solution that none of us have thought of yet, it's probably him.
Without question, Jim Cameron is a screenwriter. I mean, the guy's just a creative through and through. And looking at Terminator, it could almost be like I'm a huge fan, Dylan is too, of Halloween 3, where it's like you look at that, and John Carpenter had this idea of just installments of weird things happening on Halloween night. Nothing related to Michael Myers before, they decided to double down on Big Mike there. But it's like looking at it and just saying we could almost approach the Terminator franchise, where it's like you open up so many different stories with Skynet and technology and things like that you could just tell almost random installments of things happening because of Skynet and just creating these unique instances of people. You can just continue to tell unrelated stories within the lore of the Terminator franchise and just have something unique, have something fun. It doesn't necessarily always have to tie in and we have to have John Connor or a familiar face from the previous installment. It can just be its own thing.
Yeah, and I hear what Davey's saying here as well. Is just like the first two Terminators, they are. I mean, they're exceptional movies. Like we talk about Terminator 2 as being kind of like a perfect action film in a lot of ways. Like it's a very well constructed, beautiful, pushing movies forward, pushing cinema in a lot of ways forward. And I think it's one of the best things ever created. But uh it's one of those things where, yeah, not everything needs to have a franchise or an extended universe. I agree with that, but I think personally, if I didn't have this like idea that like I really like, and I know this is very selfish and very egotistical, but it's like I really like this idea, and I think like it just to me screams that there's still potential to do something with Terminator, even if it's just like Terminator adjacent. You know what I mean? Like it's almost a spin-off, but we're still set in that universe. It's like I'm fine with that. But again, maybe there is a method to the madness there that what if I took this idea and Luke and I just fleshed it out into something else and it's not Terminator? And then it's like, that's another thing. It could be this generation's Terminator. Who knows? Like, it is a tough road to walk. So I see what he's saying there, even though, like, I would like to see what James Cameron comes up with.
Yeah, I think, if we're talking about extending the Terminator universe, and I'm 100% with Davey, where not everything needs to be an extended universe, but I guess it depends on the case, where I'm not going to argue with Jim Cameron. If he's got a story that he wants to tell in the Terminator franchise, by all means, let me see what you get here, because a guy who does Aliens and Terminator 2 like that, I'm like, well, you earned the bragging rights there, my friend. So it's like, if we do have these unique stories, and I don't think anything, I think a death nail would be like where we do like Terminator, whatever, it's like, I don't think we need to have Terminator even in the title. It could just be, whatever tied into the Terminator universe. Obviously lean on that for marketing, but it doesn't necessarily have to be direct tie-in. It could just be like, oh yeah, we mentioned Skynet. We have a few soft references, but it's nothing like Linda Hamilton shows up with a M16 and starts blowing people away. It's like, it could just be anything to say, because of the consequences of Judgment Day, now this is happening, and we just have a soft reference to it. I think I'm okay with that, as long as we're not going to get too precious with too many nods of the original films and kind of trying to do cameos or anything like that. That I'm not a fan of, but I'd be open to see what James Cameron can do, because if there's going to be someone that can extend this universe with quality, it's going to be him.
Yeah, and I think like if he is taking this serious, if he is actually going to put some effort into it, I'd love to see what he has. But I also think that like if we're ever going to get this thing back up and running, I think like going back to the basics, keeping the story kind of simple, focusing on where we actually want to move a story forward with Terminator. In what sense are we going to like continue on with the attempts to make this more of a, like they did with Genesis, like boundary pushing, time travel, like jumping through timelines? Like, are we going to do that, or are we going to look for a more grounded, simpler approach like the first film, where it's like one guy going after somebody who's a Terminator, or one thing going after? It's like you got to really consider that, and I think that's going to really shape the future of whatever direction James Cameron decides to go, or whatever Terminator becomes. So that's where I sit with that. So
I'm all for it.
Take it to the bank.
I'm a slut for Terminator, so
I'm
actually in the process of turning my actual skeleton into a mechanical device. So one day I'll be able to cut off my hand.
Sick. I'm
and
excited.
Put it back on again.
There we go.
I'm looking forward to it. Off. Why don't we hop into the old Neon, their next picture? Sure. That sounds like fun.
You want to talk about Hokum?
I do. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, you bypassed it like rather quickly to get to Terminator. So I thought
that was more fun, and we had a good conversation. We had a lot of people chiming in on that one. All right.
No, I just
Damn.
wasn't sure if you cared because he asked Adrian about it briefly. But anyway, let's get into it. Damien McCarthy's new film, Hokum, will be coming out. Let me see. It'll be May 1st as we're working toward that release date there in the theaters. We actually got a full trailer coming out. Man, I remember seeing a bit of the teaser during Keeper, and that was the most memorable thing about my theater experience that day because I was like, what the hell is this? And I got to see it. Um, I love Caveat. I love Oddity. Oddity was a big surprise for me because I was not even um I didn't even know who Damien McCarthy was. I hadn't seen Caveat at that point, and I was so blown away by that film and its eeriness. Holcomb's got my attention. Certainly seems unnerving just from that little trailer that we did get, and it's got me asking a lot of questions.
I am so ready for this. I loved Caveat. Thankfully, our good buddy Alex from Beyond the Void horror podcast, he told me to check that out before seeing Oddity because he was really recommending it. He said it was really solid, really well done. And I watched it just before we got the screener for Oddity, and I got to say, I was like, damn, what's a double feature that is. If you watch both of those, like it's got some spooky stuff and they're very, very different, but they all have this like kind of consistent like feel to them. They do feel like they are set in the same world. They do feel like the horror is like consistently believable across both films. And Hokum, honestly, I get the same feeling just from this trailer. I feel like this is really going to propel Damien McCarthy into the big leagues if he pulls this off. I think people will really go back and look at those other two movies and start to say, "Hey, this guy's starting to come up there. He might be in the caliber of dare I say Ari Aster one day if he keeps it up."
I think this is going to be a film that people are going to be talking about, even if you haven't seen Caveat or Oddity, because I remember seeing Oddity and bringing that one up to people that, love horror movies, but really only see the stuff in the theater and being able to say, well, have you seen Oddity? And that's always a solid recommendation. I think Hokum coming out and being in the theater, having Neon's backing, which they always do great viral marketing. So you can certainly expect that as in the coming months to really get a buzz around this film. I think this one's going to have a lot of staying power. I think there's going to be an eeriness attached to it before anyone gets to the theater. I think they've done a wonderful job on this trailer to build this intrigue to it. I love that Adam Scott is attached to this as well. I think him carrying the weight here is going to be very intriguing. Him with a comedic background and being able to just kind of carry that load, I think is going to be. I think we're going to get a stellar performance. I think McCarthy's going to pull out a really good performance there, and I just love the setup here of this. I think what is he, an author going back to Ireland to spread
Mhm.
ashes of his parents. I think it opens up the world for some really intriguing eeriness. We talk about the witch subgenre, I guess as you call it, and I think that is going to open up the world for some really disturbing scenes because I think the trailer certainly already has those, and it's only like a minute and a half. So I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, I think this thing looks intense. I mean, even as you're talking, I'm just running through the scenes again, just like silently here, and it's just like visually, it just looks out of this world. Like I love the little rabbit looking thing that we're seeing here. Like he's always got something, just some visual, whether it's the wooden man in Oddity or the little rabbit with the drum in Caveat. There's always just that one little thing that it's like a calling card to each of his movies. I could almost see like if like Criterion was to like put out a box set, you'd have like a really crude looking hand drawn version of each of those objects or people on each of the covers. Like it's just he's got a lot of style and I really dig what he's doing. I know it doesn't work with everybody, but like I really think that he's got a keen eye for really creeping people out. And I think there's a couple shots in Oddity, like there's kind of like a whole like early section of that movie that could just be a short film all in of itself. It's really well done.
Yeah. Again, he builds this eeriness that you just is able to maintain throughout the actual film. Sometimes those films falter where you're not able to sustain what you build up at the very beginning, but both with Oddity and Caveat, it just is already a bit off-putting. You don't really know what to expect. And he really dials in to the terror to really deliver on an actual horror film. So, Dylan and I are next week we're probably going to go through some of the most anticipated of the year, I think, on the Sunday Scaries. So this one I'm sure we're going to retread and talk about, because this one is at it easily in my top 5 of the year.
Yeah, we're going to be working to talk about some movies that we're looking forward to next week. That'll be kind of like our first show of the new year kind of thing. And I figured Luke brought it up this week saying that would probably be a good fit. And I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. So we'll see if we can get a couple of guests. Maybe we'll see what we can do. It'll be a fun time. But yeah, we'll see what 2026
See if
has
Damian
in store
McCarthy's
for us.
free.
Yeah, actually, if Davey in the chat there is free this time next week, maybe we could have him hop on. I know
I would love it. We haven't talked to Davey
in a while.
a
I
minute.
know it's been like almost a year, probably over a year, like since we last collabed. We just like really dropped the ball in the spring with the transition, so it'd be fun. So let's see. Is the word hokum means nonsense? That's a fucking awesome. I love that. Like, I just literally threw that out there. It's just like what it is. Setup would be in the main character's mind, probably. I imagine that there's definitely like something to do with him having some trauma of some sort, going back to his family like lineage. It's probably has something to do with them being, maybe he is a product of a witch, or maybe he was promised to a witch or something, but then was shipped away. I have no clue. So I'm just excited to see what's going to happen. And yeah, the bunny mask shit is going to be awesome.
Maybe he's dating a witch. He's
dating a witch,
right, on Tinder.
His sister's a witch.
You know, it's a whole family of witches.
It's like Wizards of Waverly Place.
What is that one movie? Isn't it called Witches from the 90s or something like that?
Harry Potter, the Sorcerer of Stone.
That's I like
Chamber
Wizards.
of Secrets.
I like Wizards.
Goblet of Fire.
I don't know. Maybe. Doesn't he live under the stairs? Is that right?
Only for one movie.
Moron just runs straight into a wall, dude.
Yes, no, witches though. Yes, there was that movie, like Mandy said here. Hell yeah, Davey. I will shoot you a DM or something here over the week, and we'll figure it out. We'll get it all set up. Actually, I should have your email still, so I'll see if I still have that, and then I can just shoot you a link and everything. So hell yeah, we'll have Davey on next week.
If there's one time I like to have my Davies, it's late night.
Fuck yeah. We'll see what we can get, but yeah, I'm excited for that one. Adrian, I know we've kind of left you in the dust here. Did you get a chance to watch the trailer?
Yeah, while you guys were discussing it, I watched it 4 times on repeat because I just wanted to see all those little snapshots. But I'm loving the tone of this. I really like the bunny creature in the beginning. It looks pretty serious. I realize I haven't seen Longlegs or Oddity or Caveat, so I feel like, or Northman either. Those are all by the same director, right?
No, no. There's a couple of those are
who was directing
Damian McCarthy, and then Longlegs is oh Jesus, he's everybody loves him. What's his name
for Longlegs?
Yeah.
Oh
Osgood
my gosh.
Perkins.
There we go. I totally forgot his name.
I know, it's like I couldn't spit it out. Osgood Perkins, and then what else did you say? Oh, Northman's Robert Eggers. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I gotta premiere myself to this style.
Yeah, it's I definitely would say check out Oddity and Caveat. Again, they are not going to work for everybody, but I think like you will appreciate, I think the what they're going for. I think that they really do create some kind of like ghost story-esque kind of stuff, and I like it. Always Luke is great with his compliments. That's why we keep him around. He keeps people coming in.
Heart.
Yep, there we go. Let's see. Eggers and the Man, though. Yeah, he is the man. I definitely will say that. I'm looking forward to Werewolf. That's going to be one that we'll talk about probably next week as well, because that's coming out next year, right? Christmas?
Stephen C. Miller? Werewolf?
No.
I know.
Come on, damn it. Get your shit together, Luke. Jesus. No, I'm looking forward to that. I think that there's going to be quite a few. I know I'm forgetting a ton, but I'm telling you, I remember something is missing, but I just know next year is going to be crazy. So there's going to be something else that was big. I remember it. Oh, shit. I guess it wasn't like TV, but we're going to have, or it wasn't movies. It was TV. Crystal Lake So
Oh, that's right.
first, I guess you'd say official formal return for Friday the 13th, if you want to call it that. But yeah, no, it's gonna be wild. Gonna be nuts. Well, Luke, do we have any other stories popping up
We
that we
just had
want to
the
get to?
Megan thing, but I mean, or soulmate, which
Mm.
not slated for the new year. Who knows what the hell's going on there? Megan 2.0 was a dumpster fire and a half. So who didn't see it coming?
Yeah, I think that it's one of those ones that it's like I'm I, I guess I don't really mind it anymore. Like it's not gonna hurt me. I'll probably check it out for the channel at this point. I don't know if they've just given up on Megan as a whole, if that's what this signals, or it was just not a great movie. Again, I really think they might have got blindsided by Companion this past year, because you look at the pitch for this and you look at Companion and it is very similar.
Yeah, I think we had talked about that when that was announced, and then we had seen Companions. Like, this is going to be really eerily similar. So, how do you kind of differentiate between the two? And I suspect that maybe Soulmate is not up to par in terms of quality with Companion, and that's where the hesitation is going to be. It just looking at everyone attached to Soulmate in none of the names I recognize, so I don't really have a baseline to say could it be good. I can't really take the temperature of that film, but it's concerning after seeing Megan 2.0 and being like, do we even need anything in this universe anymore? So I don't even know if I feel like the entire universe at the moment is going to be dead in the water, and they might just try to re-rack with Megan, because if you're going to extend this universe and any way possible, you're gonna need to have the actual Megan name attached to it. I think so. I don't know. I think this one could just get a quiet release streaming at some point down the line, and it just be an afterthought when we talk about 2026. To be honest,
True. I mean, I don't know where, they don't even know where it's going to end up yet. So it's like, it could just be a Netflix thing. Could
in
end
my
up on,
garbage,
maybe, certainly. Who knows? It could be a sleeper hit. We've seen this before. I don't know.
I'm hoping
Has
to.
anything like that? No, I mean, like stuff that, I guess not in this circumstance. Yeah, it's going to be weird. We'll see. Maybe Megan is gone for good, but only time will tell. Oh my goodness, Gracie, thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much.
you.
You are wonderful, and you are always here. We appreciate it. Look forward to talking to you every Sunday, and anytime you pop up in the comments, I appreciate it as well. And then I did
Yes.
actually love this. I did want to mention this because yeah, we kind of, so it's kind of been a rough couple of weeks, not gonna lie, with this, because like we've had Rob Reiner, which happened midstream, which kind of took over the tail end of that stream. Then we had the watch party, and this happened, I think, the day of, or like a couple hours before. And like I just didn't know when to bring it up, because it was in my mind to talk about it, and we've talked about it, and like I know I talked to Evan about it, but like it was really unfortunate to hear the passing of James Ransone. Um, just last week. That is awful.
It really caught me off guard. I mean, I think everyone was caught off guard by it, but it was just um so weird to open up an article and to see, him passing away, and what a pivotal point in Sinister he is like, I love his character in that, and then an even bigger role in Sinister 2, which I don't like as much, but I love to see him get like a meaty role and be able to, because I think he just has that likable charisma about him. So even before his character opens his mouth, I already just enjoy his presence on screen. So that's really what I take away from seeing his performances is just that likability factor. That one stung, to be honest. Like when I had seen that, I was like, "Are you serious?" And what was he, like, 46? I think.
Yeah.
So young, and so many performances left. It was so wild. Him and Scott Derrickson teaming up, yeah, always fun. Black Phone, I love seeing him in Black Phone. It was like a smaller role, but so much fun.
He brought a lot of energy to those movies, and yeah, it's like I loved seeing his collaborations with that. Even he was great casting for it, even if I'm not crazy about chapter 2. It's like he certainly fit right in. It's like the kind of, the relationship, and I don't just mean like between the two characters, but like the friendship they had to kind of develop between Richie's older counterpart and him, which I'm forgetting his name right now as well.
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader, yeah. Where it's like, yeah, it's one of those things to me where it's like I think that they aced it. They really nailed it. And I don't know, man. This sucks. This is like, not to make the whole thing like about me or anything or just like my thoughts with this, but this is one of those rare times where you, as a creative or someone who just like writes scripts and stuff, you kind of fantasy cast people in certain movies. And I always had a script for a movie. I've pitched it to Luke before, about like, I'll just say it's an alien film, and it's very signs adjacent and stuff like that, very like kind of close encounters stuff. But I always pictured him as the lead character for that. I always like thought in my mind, if I got the chance to make it, he'd be on my short list of people that I'd really love to see play that role. And so like when that happened, I didn't really process it all and everything. And then like the next day I thought about that and I really pulled out that script and was like really looking through it. And I'm just like, damn, like that's kind of crazy. It's like just to think somebody's work, somebody's, performances could affect somebody enough to be like, I want to write a part for this person or I want to really move forward with this. And they'll never know that. But like, especially with how it happened too, it's just horribly tragic. I don't know if they knew how loved and respected they were.
Yeah, absolutely. That stuff is always interesting. I know I had seen Ethan Hawke just seems to be such a in tune person. Like says some of the smartest things ever. Where it's like he was doing an interview. I think it was with Joe Rogan or something, and this was a few weeks ago with the whole Paul Dano fallout, Quentin Tarantino, all that stuff, and it was brought up on the podcast, and he was like, the positive thing about this, Ethan Hawke said, was that Paul Dano probably didn't even know how many people loved him until right now, where everyone had come out and said, their appreciation for him. And it's like looking at this situation where you're talking, Dylan, where it's like he probably doesn't even know the effect that he's had on people that he's never met, because it's like when you're writing a script, I think, I had this with Tony Todd, where it's like you create a character in your brain and you can only apply it to people that you've seen, actors that you've seen. So you got to get this role in your head that you've already created for somebody. And then it's like, they don't exist anymore. It's impossible to, because it's been baked in your brain as you were writing a script and you've conceptualized everything, that's the face that you see of the character, So it's like, it's impossible to shed that. And it's wild that actors have that influence on so many people that just consume their work and they're never going to know that.
Yeah. And it really, I think, just you never know with somebody, because it's like, I think because he was in, I guess, spoilers, he was briefly shown in the Black Phone too for a couple seconds. So it's like, obviously he came in, I assume, unless they pulled his footage from the other movie, to at least stand in for that little brief scene. So it's like, I don't know, it's wild to me to hear it's like that, just how it all has transpired. We can't really talk about it like that. I don't know how YouTube feels about that. So
Yeah.
I know they're pretty strict about it. So I'm dancing around the subject of his passing. But yeah, I hate it. I hate the idea that I'm not going to get to see, like, he's one of those actors that I always felt like we were just right around the corner of getting like a reconnaissance for eventually, where it's like they're going to have a moment where they're going to have a couple of meaty roles that I think, and he definitely is one of those character actors with, oh God, the guy from Midnight Mass, the lead actor in that. I'm terrible
Oh,
at names tonight.
yeah.
Yeah.
I always forget.
Hamish Linklater.
There we go.
He's one of those too where I just think like they're gonna have some roles that are going to stand out eventually. And it's just like, I always thought he was one of those people that would really really get out there eventually, have something that just like really sticks with people performance wise. And it's not to say that any of his like work hasn't. I mean, he's on The Wire, for God's sakes, and all these other great things, but it's just like, I wanted him to be one of those actors that was more of a household name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's one of those people, I enjoyed their presence so much that I wanted to share it with more people.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's one of those things where he adds so much to the role that he's in. And I think a lot of people will not even process it until you really go back and start dissecting things. It was certainly my initial introduction into Sinister, where I was like, this film, I love this film. But then when you go back and you rewatch it so many times, and then you get a bigger appreciation for it, and then you start being able to pick out each individual role and how they play into the narrative and what they bring to the table. He was certainly one of those actors that brings so much that sometimes goes overlooked just because of the subtleness that he can bring and just the likability that he had to each different character that he played.
Yeah, I agree. Adrian, do you have anything to add on this? I know I didn't know if you were that familiar with his work or not.
I'm not too familiar with this work, but seen him in some stuff, and yeah, I mean, there's nothing I could say that could top what you guys said. It is really sad, man. You truly never really, what somebody feels in their head could be a completely isolated thing from how they're viewed and all that stuff. And people can get there a lot of different ways, and it's never chill. It's never chill.
Yep. That is true, but it is unfortunate. I think that we'll just have to do our best to remember his work and, highlight it whenever we can, especially again as Officer So-and-so and Sinister. Definitely one of the most kind of, for a movie that is so scary, to have a character that is so just kind of likable and a little goofy. It's just, it shouldn't work.
Never
but
feels
it
over the
absolutely
top
does.
either.
No.
I don't know. I think it's the subtleness that he brings to those roles where it's like perfect casting to bring what that character needed in that film.
Yeah. So I think that we'll just have to do our part and make sure that he's remembered. So that's the best we can do. But not to end everything on a very sour note or a low note, I just wanted to say Happy New Year to everybody, because I know that's going to transpire before we come back. As we said, next week we'll be back here with, I guess, Davey Deathray and the rest of us here talking 2026 horror movies. What's coming up? What are we looking forward to? So definitely get ready. Put yourself together a little list if you can, and let's get into it. I'm ready to discuss some new stuff, some stuff I'm looking forward to, and definitely, if you think you got it, if you think it's something that's not on our radar, please share it, because we definitely want to know as many movies as we can that are coming out, so we can always do our best to stay on top of that and get you guys the what's what on the little independent spooky movies.
Absolutely.
Take it away. I don't know.
We want to be as thorough as possible. So yeah, if there's something that might be even a smaller release, make sure you throw it our way so it's on our radar so we can talk about it and see where it lands in terms of how anticipated we are for it. Because we always have that big outline of those big theatrical releases that the big boys that we're going to be hitting throughout the year. But some of those random Shudder releases that we've had are some of the biggest wins. I mean, The Rule of Jenny Penn was something I was not even aware of until watching it. And it's, my gosh, what a film. So it's like, and we've had so many cases of that since starting the channel. So definitely let us know if there's something you're looking forward to that might be a little more obscure. We're certainly going to put it on our radar to check it out because, we're excited. We, like I said, want to be as thorough as possible. We're going to find that horror G spot, as they say.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Love it.
I thought that's one way to end it. Everybody's got these wonderful, nice messages, uplifting, and you got to end with horror G spot, Luke. This would be
Pointing phrases.
There we go. But thank you guys. I appreciate all the wonderful messages and chat here. Just, yes, definitely. We are blessed to have such a supportive community here. And just the horror community in general, just being very open and, very accepting to a lot of people, because shit, we only get one trip around the planet. So as far as I know, so you got to make it count. Can't let shit get on you and break you. And, we're not going to let that happen. So yeah. Sorry, I just feel really weird. It's just
you okay with that?
I'm just like, no, it's just like, I just got like really in my feels. Cause like, I just hadn't like really processed all that stuff yet. And like all the conversation. So it was like, it was kind of weird, but hell yeah. Anyway,
cathartic experience here on the Sunday Scaries.
100%. But anyway, that's all we got, guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, hanging out. And yeah, I appreciate you guys as always. And we'll have a couple of fun videos coming to you guys this week. And then, of course, next week we'll be back here again with more Sunday Scaries. So until next time, I'm Dylan Newell.
I'm Luke Janesco.
And remember, oh yeah, stay scared.
Do the horse shit, gonna do it live. Cause Splattercast kick it every day they live. Splattercast, gonna smash your ass. 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 Splattercast, gonna smash your ass.